So, did Nintendo and the Pokémon Company just patent summoning characters and making them battle? Basically the foundation of half the games we've ever played? That's the viral headline spreading across gaming forums and social media right now. But here's the truth. That's not exactly what they patented. The reality is much more specific, a little confusing, and possibly even flimsy if it were ever challenged in court. Let's break down what this patent actually covers, why people are worried, and whether it's really something that could shake up the gaming industry. Earlier this month, Nintendo and the Pokémon Company were granted U.S. patent number 12,403,397. On paper, it sounds like it involves summoning characters and making them battle. And of course, gamers immediately panicked. Because that mechanic exists in countless franchises, from Pokémon and Final Fantasy to Persona, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and even mobile gacha titles. But the patent isn't that broad. What it actually describes looks very similar to Pokémon Scarlet and Violet's auto-battling feature. Here's the breakdown. The system covers 3 branching possibilities after you summon what the patent calls a sub-character. If you throw it directly at a wild Pokémon, the game initiates a normal player-controlled battle. If you throw it near a wild Pokémon, your Pokémon enters an auto-battle, fighting on its own without the traditional turn-based system. If you throw it far away from enemies, the Pokémon simply comes out of the ball and follows you around in the overworld. In short, it's not just summon and fight. It's this specific decision tree of how the game decides what happens once your creature is out in the world. That's what Nintendo and the Pokémon Company locked down in this patent. So no, Nintendo did not just patent the entire idea of summoning a character and letting it fight. They patented one very particular implementation of it, the system Scarlet and Violet already use. That hasn't stopped people from worrying though, because the headlines made it sound like Nintendo now owns the concept of summoning fighters. If that were true, it would be disastrous for genres like RPGs, MOBAs, and even card battlers. But in reality, this is much narrower, and likely unenforceable outside Pokémon-like systems. Here's the thing about gaming patents. Many are filed, but very few are tested in court. Some, like Namco's infamous patent on loading screen minigames, did hold up and shaped game design for decades. Others are so broad or so obvious that they'd likely collapse under legal scrutiny. This Pokémon patent feels closer to the second category. It's describing something that seems specific now, but a lawyer could argue it's just a remix of existing mechanics, like auto-battlers in mobile games or companion AIs in RPGs. So while Nintendo technically has the paperwork, whether it could enforce this patent against other studios is a huge question mark. So why file it at all? Well, companies like Nintendo patent all kinds of mechanics, even if they never plan to use them in lawsuits. Patents can serve as defensive tools, making sure nobody else tries to patent the same thing later and block Nintendo from using their own idea. It's also a way to stake a claim on Scarlet and Violet's unique features, ensuring Pokémon's signature mechanics stay recognizable as Pokémon innovations, not something that competitors can blatantly copy. So, let's set the record straight. Nintendo and the Pokémon Company didn't patent the concept of summoning characters to fight. They patented one very particular flow of how that works in Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. It probably won't affect other games, and honestly, it might not even survive a serious legal challenge. But it does show how cautious Nintendo is about protecting even small innovations inside the world's biggest media franchise. What do you think? Is this just smart IP protection, or another example of gaming companies overreaching with patents? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss next week's breakdown.